Hello, Dialands, and welcome to another Dragon Age the Veilguard tarot character prediction with only 3 names left. Who's going to be left for last? Best for last? Okay. Davrin. So, we know Davrin is a companion. Davrin was hinted back in the 2020 behind the scenes. So as a Grey Warden, he can have certain insight. I'm also assuming that he has knowledge because he has a griffin, that he has knowledge, not just general knowledge about what happened with the griffins, but knows more about it. So he'll be able to tell us the backstory about the griffins, which I hope, because I don't think I'm going to have time to read the last flight before the game begins. And like, there's only 1 week left at the time of recording this. So I'm really intrigued by Davrin. I really like his character so far, and I really want to learn more of his backstory because obviously he has a Valasleen, so he was probably born a Dalish elf. So what's the backstory there with him becoming Grey Warden? And what exactly is he going to present? Because he seems very protective, he seems very heroic. So what is he going to present for his role as a companion in the Veilguard and his relationship with Rook, whether friendship or romanced? So what do the cards have to say about Davrin's role in Dragon Age the Veilguard and his relationship with Rook? So we have a reversal. Ooh, it is a card that we have had before. It's the 9 of chalices, the 9 of cups reversed. And cups is interesting as a suit for a Grey Warden because of the joining ritual, where they, through a ritual cup, in a ritual chalice, they drink Darkspawn blood. And for the Dragon Age Inquisition Tarot deck, it's the Behemoth. Overturned success. So maybe something to do with the reputation of the Grey Wardens or Davrin's success for himself. Poor choices. I see poor choices for the Grey Wardens themselves. There will be poor choices. There have been poor choices that were made, which could come into play for the overturned success. And we've kind of seen in some of the teases, I'm not going to spoil that here, but the hints as to poor choices being made by some of the higher ups, because either they're afraid or their calling is coming soon, or, you know, I'm taking a guess here, but those could all come into play. Like, we know Corypheus created a calling. So it's not out of the realms of possibilities that the risen elven gods would create a calling to dupe the wardens, not exactly in the same way, but to scare them enough to make them desperate. And that, when you're desperate like that, would lead to poor choices. Suspicions. Davrin could be suspicious of his superiors. Davrin could be a little bit suspicious of maybe Rook and the Veilguard, all depending. Disturbed tranquility. Well, if the wardens, you know, they've been doing their thing, but aside from Corypheus, if it's been 10 years since the events of Dragon Age Inquisition, there has been much going on for the Grey Wardens. There haven't been any blights, there haven't been, you know, so they've just been existing and preparing in case and helping where they can, but there hasn't been any major world-threatening, doom, apocalyptic scenarios going on until now. So that tranquility now is disturbed. Selfish desires. It could be the Grey Wardens, it could be Davrin, it could have to do with the Griffin, with Asan. Selfish desires, it could lead to a schism in the Grey Wardens. Self-indulgence. I don't think that Davrin is the self-indulgent kind, because he seems to be very protective of everyone, and since he's a warrior, he's a tank, so I don't see him taking a back seat, just stepping forward, but maybe self-indulgence around him. Sorrow. Well, if with the Grey Wardens, what they're going through, there would be much sorrow, and we know that Weishaupt is going to be attacked, so as we've seen in the trailers and everything, so that would cause sorrow. Irresponsibility. Who's going to be irresponsible? Is Davrin going to witness irresponsibility and then be like that voice of reason, like, come on, let's refocus? Or is he going to be irresponsible? Squandered future. Well, Grey Wardens, they have the taint in them. Unless we find a cure, their futures kind of are squandered, but their goal is to fight. So they're giving their lives to save lives in this way. Not that much different from the dwarves who are the Legion of the Dead. But squandered future, I see that to do if they lose certain opportunities. And so, because so far this reading speaks like really Grey Warden, and so I'm wondering, Davrin in all that, I don't think it's his future that's going to be squandered, but maybe he wants to prevent his future from being squandered, and that's why he joins the Veilguard. Complacency. He could become complacent. He could be witnessing complacency, and he becomes complacent. Blind faith. He could have blind faith in the cause of the Grey Wardens, or blind faith in the Veilguard. Like maybe he switches his faith focus. Emotional blockages. So I suspect that there might be something, because with the Grey Wardens it's different. It's difficult for them to have relationships and things like that. So emotional blockages, and he's seen fighting, and he's got that backstory of being Dalish. So there's got to be some sort of emotional blockage there. And, maybe Rook becomes his new calling. And hint, nudge, judge, wink, wink. Foolishness, whether friendship or romance, foolishness. Davrin doesn't seem like the foolish type. So perhaps something happens to make him act foolishly. And while a lot of these speak to maybe what he's witnessing within the Grey Wardens, and maybe that's why he joins the Veilguard, like as though it's his backstory type thing. I also see it a bit as all this encompassing not just his backstory, but like maybe his reason and his evolution throughout the game and his purpose. So maybe this is all his purpose. So we'll see. This reading spoke more backstory to me for Davrin, not so much that we'll discover this is his future, but we'll discover this was his past or something like that. And let me know your thoughts in the comments below for Davrin with the 9 of Cups reversed. And I'll see you all soon. Masaranas. Hello, darling. What happened there?